All right, we're going to transition into a couple of different things. We have two things happening. In this room, we're going to have a panel from an organization called VELA. Anybody in the room familiar with VELA? Yes, 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 yes. Those of us who may have who have received grants or connections through VELA really appreciate the work that they do. And I will let Ashley come up in just a moment, and she can tell you exactly what VELA does. She can do it better than I can. At the same time, how many of us know, wait, where's Natalie? Is Natalie already, Natalie Mack, is she already in the other room? Okay. How many of us know how important mental health is, especially for our families, especially for our kiddos, especially during this precarious time? It's so, so, so important, right? So Natalie Mack is in the breakout room over here. She is doing a session on mental health. And so if that is something that is of interest to you, and I think that, again, I think it's important for each of us, then you can go through this side door, again, to the breakout room out there in the hallway and join the session with Natalie Mack. And in the meantime, did I see Ashley? Ashley, you can come on up. Yeah. So this is, I stepped out of the frame again. This is Ashley Ho. She is, Ashley, what is your title at VELA? Product Director at VELA. Let me tell you something. She is and has been working on some very, very cool things that are not only connecting families to resources, but are connecting entrepreneurs to resources. And so that's super important. I have been a beneficiary of this, and it is fantastic. So I'm going to hand it over to Ashley.
Okay, I think I'm also moderating this panel on revenue streams. Okay? Yeah, I can also talk about VELA while we get set up as well. So I'm Ashley Ho. I'm with VELA. VELA is a network of visionary entrepreneurs who are transforming private education with affordable, innovative solutions that empower families. Through capital, resources, and connections, VELA helps these founder entrepreneurs build sustainable businesses that provide solutions that empower families. Our network, the VELA network, consists of more than 3,500 entrepreneurs in all 50 states and 3 U.S. territories, and we have 176 founders here in the state of Georgia, and I'm joined by 2 here that I'm just introducing in just a second. Today I'm excited to explore with our 2 panelists the innovative strategies and actionable insights that can help you build more sustainable revenue models. I'm going to scooch on over here so I can see you guys as I introduce you. Our first panelist is Dr. Tina Ramsey, who is co-founder of the Melanated Homeschooling Families Community and founder of the CTR Media Network. Joining Dr. Tina is Karima Akila, and she is founder of the K-12 Jeannie I. Dow School here in Atlanta. Today's session, we're going to be talking about unlocking revenue streams, strategies for educational providers and families. We are going to have time at the end for a Q&A session, so Dr. Tina and Karima are going to walk through their strategies. I think they each have a presentation that they're going to share with play-by-play of what you can do. Nicole said she wanted homework at the end of this session, so I hate to be we're the ones that are assigning that, but that was our task for today. And then after they walk through their presentations, we'll have Q&A, and with that, I will kick it over to Dr. Tina.
Timmy? Okay. All right. First of all, you guys, you're putting a clicker in my hand. I said I'll come speak. I didn't say I'll click. Okay, I want to make sure once it's time I can. So anyway, I am so happy to be here today. I want to thank Flourish, Homeschool and Conference, and also VELA for allowing me to be able to share my strategy on how I was able to turn my passion into income. And so today we're going to talk about from passion to profit, unlocking revenue stream strategies, specifically for homeschooling parents, as well as what we call edupreneurs, educators, that you are also entrepreneurs as well. And so let me see. I don't know nothing about no clicker. I don't know about the clicker. So I would like for you guys to, okay, well, she's going to help me. She's going to be my person. All right, and so before we even get started, I want you to just imagine, okay? I need you to use your imagination. I know as parents, we homeschool, we have all this imagination for our children, but we don't have it for ourselves. So I need you to wonder, what if? What if you gave yourself permission that while you're helping your children build out their dreams, you're also building your dreams at the exact same time? I want you to give yourself permission, parents, because we are so used to pouring everything into our children and putting our dreams on hold. Number two, what if your daily homeschooling efforts, everything that you do every single day, could be something that can actually turn into impacting your family's income and also generating generational wealth for your family, and also inspire others to be able to copy your framework to do the exact same thing? And what if your legacy and income could thrive after your homeschooling journey is over? Because I can say now that I am a retired homeschooling mom, and so I was like, what am I going to do? And so what if I told you that all of this is not a dream, it's not a fantasy, you can really do all of that with what you currently already know? The fact of the matter is, as homeschooling parents, as educators, we have a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, we're very passionate about what we do. The problem is that we do not know how to manage or discover how we can leverage our expertise and leverage what we do and make a monetary income from it. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to first speak to you about how you can really change your mindset around passion to profit or passion to income, or however you want to place it, how to get to the money, we can put it like that, and how you can use my 5 Ps process strategy in order to build your income, as well as giving you the challenge that I see most parents, homeschooling parents, and also educational entrepreneurs have, is that they do not know how to build a framework around what they do. Okay, and so that is what we're going to go over today, and I would really love it if you guys could see the slides, because the visual will really be something that can help you a lot. But even though we're going to keep on moving, because I'm going to give you guys access to the PDF at the end anyway. Okay, so what is the 5 Ps? The 5 Ps are very basic. It's passion, purpose, people, process, profit. How many of you have passion? Raise your hand. Everybody in this room, hand should be up, because it takes a lot of passion to be able to homeschool. How many of you have a purpose? You feel like your life has a purpose? Okay. What about, do you have a group of people right now that you can share your passion and purpose with? Okay, we have some. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Okay, and then we need a process. All right, we need that process. And then last is the profit. So the step number 1 to this 5P process is that you have to discover what your why is, what is your passion, and how you can turn that into income. Okay, here they go. Hey, girl, God is good. Come on, roll it up, roll it up. Ooh, God is good. Give it a clap to the people in the back. Give them some love, give them some love. Okay. Okay, and so how you going to ignite that and keep yourself motivated as you're teaching your children, and also as you are building out your dream alongside your child. Let me see, do they want me to click? They still working on it. But anyway, the second step is purpose. Write this down. Purpose. What is your purpose? Okay, your purpose, it has to be something that you can focus on, that will drive you to action even when you feel like you can't go on. All right, and that is what actually builds that trust and credibility with the group of people that you're actually building for whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, and so who can support or amplify your work at the end of the day? You need to think about that with whatever skills that you do have. Okay, keep on going, keep on going. We own the 5 Ps, the 5 Ps. You can keep on moving up. Thank you. And step 4 is the process. The reason why most of us, we do not ever get to the profit side is because we don't have a proper process in order to filter out our information and our skills. And so here we are with all this passion, all this drive, all this focus, but without a process, without foundation, it falls flat. That's why you're still broke. Okay? That's why you broke. That's why you like, I don't understand. God told me I'm going to do this and that. I don't understand. Process, okay? Everything has to be built on a strong foundation. The last thing, which we want to get to first, but it's always the last thing, is the profit. Because once you have the passion, the purpose, the people, the process, the profit, it all makes sense. And then you can consistently rinse and repeat this every single time. No matter what business you have, you can rinse and repeat it. So what are we going to tackle now? We're going to tackle the problem that most of you have right now sitting here. Before we go to that, you guys can scroll up. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Okay, stop right there. I forgot to tell you a little bit about myself, which I don't really like to do, but anyway. For those of you who do not know, like they said, I'm the CEO of CTR Media Network, which is a TV and podcast and distribution network. We reach 350 million households worldwide. We're currently airing in 140 countries. I am also the co-founder of Melanated Homeschooling Family Support Group, and we are now helping 25,000 homeschooling parents, melanated people of color, with their homeschooling journey, providing support. It's a free Facebook group. You can join it. Many of you are in that group, and I encourage you to be a part of it. I see one of the members right there. Hey, girl, hey. You know, so anyway, that is what I do, and I have consistently been able to rewire my framework and be able to develop a system that I teach my clients, that I do myself as well, that actually help me go from making zero to us making six figures. And so I know it can be done. Your passion is worth value, okay? And so what is the problem? You don't understand the framework. The framework. What is the framework? It's just 4 little steps. When you are making your strategy about your framework, you have to always ensure that your strategy is fair, it's based on principles, it has fairness, and it has profitability. The first thing you have to do is first calculate the cost. So whatever it is, if you want to create curriculum, if you want to create a t-shirt line, whatever it is that you want to create, you have to first calculate how much it's going to cost, how much the website, email, domain, whatever it is that you want to do in order, the shipping costs, you have to take into account all of that. Then once you do that, you have to understand your audience. You do not need to create a product or service, no matter how passionate you are about it, if you do not have an audience that is willing to buy it. Okay, because you're wasting time and you're wasting money. So that's why you need to build you a community and ask them for feedback to see if that's something that they really want to purchase. Is it something that they really want to have? And they will let you know it based upon the feedback that you get. That's why it's so good to create your own Facebook groups or your own YouTube channel or some type of social media where you can bring the people together to ask questions. Number 2, you need to have effective pricing. You need to understand that you need to give people a variety of how they can pay you. Make it very simple for them to click and buy. You need to have 3-tier system. It never fails. Basic, standard, premium. Give people a way to connect with you, even if it's at the lowest tier of your business model. And make it very fair, very reasonable, something that they cannot say no to. $10, $20. They're not thinking about that. That's not a pressure point. They're gonna opt in because you're bringing value, right? And then you can go up based upon whatever your analysis on once you do the research on how much you're supposed to charge your specific target group. The next thing, you need to test and adjust. Sometime when you first start out, based upon your level of expertise, based on how much experience you have, you decide, oh, my value is worth this amount of money and I'm gonna charge this, all right? Well, you test it and then no one purchases it. Okay, well, they don't understand your value yet. So you need to lower that price until they get to know you better and then they understand your self-worth, and then you can go up within time once you have had a proven system of success. Then you have people saying, hey, this is a great product, this is a great service, and then be willing to be flexible. Number 4, you need to research and review your competitors. Now, I said research and review. Let me lean in on this. I didn't say copy. I said research and review. See what it is that is similar to what you're doing and what's unique about whatever it is that you're bringing to the table. And then you keep and you rinse and repeat this. So let me put this in the real terms. Could you scroll up where you get to Mary? where we can meet Mary. So how can you actually build this out? Because I gave you the 5 Ps, and you also know the framework, but how can you put this in a real scenario? Keep going. So how can you break the passion, purpose, people, process, and profitability? How can you make that into real tangible things? I'm gonna give you an example of Mary. Mary is a homeschooling mother who absolutely loves history, but she don't love just any kind of history. It's lesser known history about different cultures, and she started creating her purpose that she wants her children to not only know history, but know where they came from, and she wants them to be able to embrace their true self, and she started creating these workbooks, went on in little Canva, started creating these little worksheets. Her children love it. And then the next thing she knows, she created this Facebook group, and people start saying, hey, wait, Mary, I like that. Where can I purchase it? Where can I get it? She was like, oh, well, I have some worksheets. And I have, I'm putting this together, making a workbook. Do you want to purchase it? Oh, yeah. So that takes you to the process. How are you going to filter these people in? Through a website, through a newsletter? How are you going to be able to sell it? And if you do not have an on-hand capital, there are websites like payhelp.com that will let you upload your courses, your content for absolutely free. You only get charged a fee when people actually purchase the product. Okay, so when they purchase the product, they take out a little service fee, so you do not have to start off with an enormous amount of money. You can start off with 0 and start making money as they make money, right? And so what is the profitability? Mary started thinking about everything that she's doing. She built her community, and she started building out 3-tier process. She knew that she had 3 types of people. She had people who do not want to make a curriculum. We know, we have the people. Well, when some of us, these homes go on, we like buy it in a box, send it to my house. What's the price? I don't want to do it. I just want to teach it, right? So she built the curriculum, and she charged $300 per person. Her goal was 100 people. Okay, next she did her second tier. It's a group of people that do not want to purchase the whole curriculum, but they just want to get a piece of it. They just want to get a piece of it. So she made workbooks available. The third thing is, people want to, when you start creating all these things, people are going to want to connect with you on a more personal level. So therefore, you have a membership program where you give them exclusive content along with whatever you're offering to the general public, as well as different things. She did that. She literally went from making 50, just get this in mind, if they can get on the slides, because I want you guys to really see it. Keep going. I need you to be able to see it, to visualize so that you can achieve it. Keep on going once you get to it. But anyway, Mary had 50 people that purchased her curriculum for $300. She sold 50, and she made $15,000. I need that to sink in. All of that stuff that you create inside of your Google Drive, Canva, all these great ideas that you have that you think that is only good for your children, that you feel like no one else wanted, no one else needed. I'm here to tell you there is a market out there for you. Why are you just using it for your children? If you want to build income, that's how you build income. That's how I'm doing it. The next thing that she said, okay, well, I'm going to provide these workbooks for people who do not want the full curriculum. So she charged just $35 per book. She sold it to 50 people. She made $1,750. The next thing she did, she had the subscription. This is where I say the basic. She charged them she charged them $20 per month, 10 people, and she literally made $2,400. At the end of the year, she made $19,150 from something that she was already doing, that you already doing, that she decided to have the framework and the plan, that she now turned her passion into profit, and she can just rinse and repeat this. I'm not telling you, this is not rocket science. Once you have the framework, once you understand how money flows and how money works and how to turn what you do into profit, it's just a simple process of redoing it and expanding what you're doing. She just took that same model, my 5P process, and she just expanded it. So if she started with having a goal of 100 people, the next time she wanted 500 people. The next time she wanted 1,000. When she did 500 people at the same price, at the end of the year, she made $77,250. The same framework, she just expanded her territory to have more people. Now she said, wait, I want to be a six-figure earner. What am I going to do? She didn't go create a whole new product, a whole new service. She expanded on what she already did. And by the end of the year, she made, take a breath, $184,000. $184,000 off of what she initially just created for her family. Now she's sharing it with the community. It's helping them. And I need you to understand that this is not something that you have to have a degree to do. I'm not knocking degrees because you know I'm all for education. But what I'm saying, you can be that mom with a high school diploma, GED, and you can still do this because all of you have unique gifts and talents inside of you that people are waiting for. They need your uniqueness. They need what you're doing. And so I'm going to make it super easy. People want to know, Tina, how you make your money, honey? Okay, I'm going to tell you 12 things that I have been doing for the past, ever since I started content creation in 2013. I started my business in 2018, so 7 years. These are the 12 things that I know that every edupreneur and also person that is a homeschooling parent can do. Why? Because I am you, you are me, okay? And this works. This is a sure thing. I have rinse and repeat this with multiple clients, including myself, and this is how I can still make money, 6 figures. Okay, and so number one, blogs. How many of you have something to say, a uniqueness? You can write a blog. People pay you to put advertisement on your blogs, okay? Number two, courses. All of you have a course inside of you, honey. Listen, don't start. All of you have a course inside you. Don't say, I don't, oh yes you do. Yes, you do, okay? And you can go on over to payhip.com. You don't need any money, and you can go ahead and upload that course today, okay? No excuses. If you want to do Teachable, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Number three is coaching. What you think you're getting here? You think I'm just talking? No, I'm teaching. I'm coaching, okay? This is consulting. Every single one of you have some unique experience, something about your experience as a homeschooling parent, as an educator, as a teacher, that someone else needs to know, that they only can get and get it from you that type of way. Number four, public speaking. What are we doing right now? Public speaking. People pay you to come share your expertise, share your story. Affiliate marketing. Now, this is what parents do not do enough, and you're leaving too much money on the table. I have one video, multiple videos, but it's one video in particular that I did 7 years ago, and I still make money off it today, and I didn't touch it since 7 years ago. I did it one time, and it made money every single day. Every single day. And it's called affiliate marketing. If you do not have the capital to start your own business, you go along with other people who already have a business, already have a proven framework that will pay you in order to share their products and services with your audience. They pay you anywhere from 10 to 50% of a kickback. That's what I want you to do. Look for affiliate marketing, join their programs, and follow their requirements, and they will pay you to share. How many of you buy homeschool curriculum? I know you do. Stop. All of you should have your hands up. Listen, these companies will pay you where you can actually get this curriculum for free or very inexpensive, and they will also pay you to be a brand ambassador. The next thing is TV and podcast interviews. Start a podcast talking about your unique experience. People will pay you for commercial slides. They will sponsor your show. Also, you can resell curriculum that you already purchased, as well as creating curriculum of your own and creating lesson plans for other people that do not know how to create a lesson plan. If you have a unique skill set where you can look at any type of book and you can make a whole curriculum. One of my gifts is that I can take anything off of the sun, from a sale paper to a dictionary, and I can build you out every single subject, every single curriculum for every single subject, no matter what the book is. Because I had to learn how to do it because we had a fixed income, okay? And I taught people how to do that. So my thing is this. Let me stand up. Are you ready? I need you to understand that you do not have to be broke. You do not have to sacrifice your time, your dreams, just to teach your children. Your children need to see that you are moving, that you are growing, okay? I never knew that my children was watching me and getting inspired by what I was doing, because I was just doing what I was passionate about and figure out the system that I'm teaching you now. And my son came back, and he has autism, and he said, Mom, I'm so proud of you. Let me tell you something. I'm not a crying person, but honey, I boo-hoo like silly on The Color Purple that day. Like, I was like, my son, he actually saw, right? And my daughter, like, Mom, I remember, you know, how it was when you had to think about each single penny, each single dollar, that was a stress that you shouldn't have, because all of you have these unique gifts, and none of you should be where you are struggling for financial things with all of this knowledge, okay? And so, are you ready? I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, and then I'm getting ready to wrap this up, because sheisthebomb.com. I'm gonna wrap this up. Number 1, if you could solve one problem, I didn't say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 problems. I said 1, start with 1. If you could solve one problem, what would it be for your community? What would it be that you know that they need, that you see that they're asking for in these social media platform forums, and you know you hold the answer, but you're nervous, you're afraid, you don't want to stand out? It's time to stand out. Number 2, what's one skill or expertise that you have right now that you know someone will pay you to do? That you know someone will pay you to do. And number 3, how could that align with your income goals that will create a lasting impact? Because at the end of the day, when you create impact, you create wealth. And it is a system, it's a simple system that once you understand the framework, you can consistently rinse and repeat. I want you guys to use this 5P process along with the framework. I am going to provide you guys with a PDF, so because it's a lot of information to get at one time, I want you to be able to work through whatever your passion, your purpose, your people, your process, and your profit, okay? People ask me all the time, what systems do you use? How do you do what you do? So I'm not just gonna give you all this information, I'm actually gonna give you guys a gift, okay? I have 2 gifts. Once, you can go ahead to the last one. Oh, those are my businesses right there, and literally I just rinse and repeat. Every single business that I have magazines, I have books, I have groups, I have courses, I have events that I do. No matter what I do, I follow this framework, and it never fails, okay? It never fails. You can go track it, baby. I'm trackable. You can track it. I have receipts, all right? So keep on moving and go to the end. It took me a minute before I actually figured this out. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And the fact that when you duplicate yourself so many times, where you see it not only work for you, my real success is not that it worked for me, it's that it worked for other people. And when I see that I was able to impact people's life in a way that it changed their life and changed the way they felt about themselves and their self-worth, I know that I did what I was supposed to do. Okay? And so what I want to do, because homeschooling parents as well as educators they do not receive enough love, okay, enough appreciation. So what I'm doing, you scan the QR code, you'll be able to go to our network and be able to get a free course on how to start your podcast from scratch. I'm telling you all the secrets. You can start today. Okay, and also get a whole lot of other information from anything from homeschooling, entrepreneurship, whatever it is, self-improvement. The second thing on the QR code is for you to be able to get that PDF to help you work out the framework that we just discussed today, so that you can start tapping into taking your passion to success, or whatever that is, whatever that means to you, to profit, okay? And I appreciate all of you guys listening. Excuse about the technical difficulties, but we made it through. And I thank Vela and also Flourish for letting me speak. And you guys, I hope this changed your life, and I hope that it make you start thinking and seeing yourself as more than just a homeschooling mom or dad, more than just an educator. You are an entrepreneur. And this is how you build sustainable, scalable growth. And so that is it. All right, I'm done. I yield my mic. I'm ready for you, girl.
Thank you, Dr. Tina. That's the most passion I've seen today on the stage, so I think we should give it up again one more time for Dr. Tina. Next, we have Karima, who's going to share her strategies, and I think she also has a presentation that hopefully we can click through as well and follow along.
You need to click on.
Hello? All right, looks like we live and in action. Now, if y'all don't mind, I like to walk around, if that's okay with my cameraman. I'm gonna make it work a little bit. No? Oh, up to the table. All right, well, we're gonna see what we can do. Well, if you let me know when you get the slides ready, and once I see it up, then I know that you're ready. But in the meantime, and in between time, let me introduce myself, and let me check the room. My name is Karima Akila, and let me check the room first. Let me see, how many homeschool mamas we got up in here? Oh, no, I'm sorry. How many homeschool mamas we got up in here? All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, how many homeschool papas we got? We got any daddies, any homeschool daddies? All right, I see you, sir. Thank you so much. All right, and I see the little ones. I see the little ones. I'm not going to wake up your baby because I understand. You know, just got that little one to sleep. I get it. Well, let me introduce myself again. I'm Karima Akila. I'm the mom of 6 kids. 6, yes. That was my dream number, and that dream came true. Amen. I didn't always know what to expect with all 6 of them, but they taught me along the way. They are now 26 all the way down to 14. I am originally from Philadelphia. Any Go Birds? Anybody? No? That's okay. I'll hold it down by myself. Me and Saquon, we can do that. That's all right. But I am a former public school teacher from the state of Maryland, and I've been homeschooling my kids for as long as they've been alive, so about 26 years. So my friends on the slides, how we doing back there? Yes, no? We up? Okay, you can go ahead. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Yeah, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. All right, so you're going to start right there. Yeah, this is how it started. So like many of you, I see the little ones, that was me. Somebody was always crying, somebody was always cutting up. Yes. I began traditionally homeschooling my kids, and I'm telling you this for a reason. We're going to get into the money part in just a second. But I was a traditional homeschool mom, right? I did all of the curriculum, and I was a slave to my curriculum, to the point where I was dressing those babies in uniforms to come to the dining room table. I did that. Y'all can laugh, because I laughed at myself. That was all right. But then, you know what, stress and burnout became my norm because I was so busy trying to reach this utopia that the curriculum told me that I could have. I would go to fairs like this, and I was always in hunt for the next best thing that would give me what I hoped to have in my children, and I never found it until I made my children the curriculum, until my children became the guide. And I did that thing that I said I would never, ever, ever do because we don't do that. We don't do that unschooling situation. What is that? That ain't for us. But it had to be for me. So I found joy. I found passion. My children, again, I saw the light come back on. And so we were living like that for a long time until my husband in that picture became sick with cancer. When cancer visited the family, yeah, that's fine. Pause right there on that one. When cancer visited the family at that time, I had been a stay-at-home mom for 16 years, full-time. My husband was the full-time breadwinner. During that time, I had started so many co-ops, right? And I would do it right there around my dining room table, you know, charging nothing because he was the main breadwinner. Well, when he passed away, we had a new reality. We were unschooling. My kids were living their passion and their dream. If I had to go to work full time, where were my babies going to go to school? Where they can continue that passion and that joy, right? At the time where we were living, the nearest school that supported that was an hour away. That didn't work. So then I said, let me see what it is that I can create. And then that was the birth of everything that I do now. So you can fast forward to the next slide, and now look. Life on the other side of nursing and birthing them babies. Life on the other side of sleepless nights. Yes, those night terrors. So now, let's see. They are now 26 down to 14. I have a grandbaby, a sugar baby. That's what I'm going to call him. I ain't going to be nobody's grandmother. I'm going to be a sugar mama. That's going to be me. Yeah. And my new husband over there on the side. You can go to the next slide. All right, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Back in 1995, I was a student at the best HBCU. I ain't going to fight y'all about it because I already understand. Okay, Morgan State University, if you don't know where that is up in Baltimore. I know we got some Baltimore, Maryland people in the house back there. Well, I was an education major, and I had this class called Technology and Education. Can y'all take a guess? What do you think they taught in that class? Say a little louder, what you think? Computer science, okay, what else? What do you think they taught back in 1995 in education? What you think? I see you laughing, that's all right, it's old, I understand, I know, hey. What you think? What you think they taught? No, they didn't teach the overhead projector. No, that probably was the extent of technology at that time. Okay, next screen. Whatever they taught, I failed in that class. They were teaching us how to send and receive electronic mail. You can laugh. It's all right. Because I said to myself, email? What's that? Who's ever going to need that? If you want to send a letter, what you going to do? You're going to get you a pen and a paper. You're going to write you a letter. You're going to go down to the store, get you a stamp, a book of stamps if you're bowling, right? You're going to write your letter, put it in that envelope. You're going to lick and stick it. You're going to walk down to the corner, to the blue mailbox. Back then we had them. You're going to put that joint in there, and then you're going to wait about 2-3 weeks for them to get that letter, right? Wait another 2-3 weeks for them to write you back. Electronic mail, who needs that? So I failed that class. Now, that was technology back in 1995, okay? Next screen, please. We are at the same place right now with blockchain technology, smart contracts, and crypto. I'm gonna say that again. Where I was in 1995 when I said, who is ever going to use electronic mail? Whoever's gonna do that? Y'all probably saying the same thing. Bitcoin, what is that? What is this? Crypto, blockchain. So we're at the same exact place. And if you are here within the sound of my voice and you hear me saying these words, don't do like I did back in 1995, wondering where you're ever going to use it, because you're actually already using it right now. So let's show you what you can do with it. Okay, go ahead, next screen. Now, this is my inspiration. When I see these crypto bros out here making millions of dollars, doing whatever it is that they, using the money for, I said, well, we can do the same thing to fund our babies. Now, remember what I said when my husband passed away, right? That I needed to create a learning community for my children to go to if I needed to return to work. So guess what we're doing? Just like those hey bro crypto bros, I'm using crypto to fund our schools, to fund micro schools, to fund your homeschool co-op so that it can be sustainable. Next slide, please. Now, before we go any, let me just say this right here. Let me get right here, dead center. Okay, look here. This is not financial advice. This presentation is for educational purposes only. Don't come looking for me. If you put your whole entire mortgage payment up in some crypto and that thing tanked, don't look for me, okay? Please do look for your own personal financial and investment counsel. Okay, we understand that this is for what kind of purposes? Educational purposes only. Thank you so much. Now we can rock and roll. All right. Okay, so what is this blockchain technology foolishness to begin with? And this is what's really important. Blockchain is a decentralized public ledger that records and shares transactions and other data across a network of computers. It's a type of a database that stores information in blocks that are linked together in the chain. Now, I know I said a whole lot of words. All you need to remember is that it is a ledger. You know how you go into your bank account and you want to see the transactions that you've made? Blockchain does that, but it is transparent. So if I show you my wallet, you can see where my money has been going. It is transparent. Next slide, please. You'll notice the little MVP sticker there. Blockchain and its sister cousin, smart contracts, are the most valuable players in the world of crypto. Now, you never hear about them, right? I should have did this from the jump. Anybody here heard of Bitcoin? Raise your hand. You heard of Bitcoin? Okay, all right, all right. Has anyone here ever heard of a digital wallet? Oh, okay, all right, we in the right room. Anybody here ever heard of Ethereum? All right, oh, we can have some fun. Anybody here ever heard of ZK Pass, zero knowledge proof? Come on, sister. All right. Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure I knew who I was talking to. Okay, so a smart contract is a digital agreement that automatically executes when certain conditions are met. It's like the if then that type of statement that is programmed into the technology, thus creating a trustless environment, right? When I put it in and funny how human nature is, we trust the technology before we trust each other, right? And those transactions are stored on the blockchain. Next slide. Now, how can you use it? You can use it for decentralized banking. We're going to get into what all of this is, but it sounds like y'all might already know. You can create fractional fundraising and community ownership, like what we're doing with our schools. You can receive payment and donations, and of course, you can buy and hold it. Next slide. So number one, it sounds like A lot of people here already are familiar with digital wallets. I recommend MetaMask. You can open a Phantom wallet or a Coinbase wallet for decentralized banking. If you can create a social media profile, then you can open up a digital wallet. I'm going to say that again. If you can create a social media profile on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, then you can open a digital wallet. Takes about 5 seconds. Okay, next slide. So what is decentralized banking, or DeFi? It is a term for financial services that use blockchain and cryptocurrency. DeFi applications are peer-to-peer, right? So if I have your wallet address and you have mine, you can send me some Ethereum. You can send me, whatever you want, some Solana, if you would like, without the use of a centralized bank. So I'm my own walking bank, and I can do transactions with your bank, right? I don't have to wait for the bank to approve it, right? Ain't no such thing as, business days. I'm waiting on the check right now. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm waiting on the check right here, right now. But because we had the King holiday and whatnot, and it was the weekend, now, that's 3 more days that I got to wait before that check can clear. No such thing between a peer-to-peer banking. Next slide. So what is crypto? And again, it sounds like I'm speaking to those who understand. It is a digital asset that can be used to make payments online or for some physical purchases. Now, put the little smiley face there because when I was talking to my daddy, he said, "Baby, ain't that funny money?" I said, "Lord." I said, "Yes, Daddy, you can say it's that funny money." But what I love most about crypto is I love the history of money. So we're homeschooling here, right? People would ask me, well, how can Bitcoin cost that much? Because last I checked, it was teetering around $100,000 per one Bitcoin, right? Why does it cost that? How can nothing cost something? Just do a little bit of history. Look at the history of money. How did we get here? Right now, hardly anyone carries any fiat. That's the paper money or the money that you have in your wallet. We don't carry 20s around anymore, not as much as we used to. Maybe some of us do. But how do we get to the $20 bill from gold? From before that, what were we trading, right? Rabbit skins and pellets or moccasins or whatever it was, right? There's a value that is placed on something. If I say that these glasses are worth 3 of them chairs, and you need these glasses, and I need them chairs, and we make that exchange, guess what? These glasses are now worth 3 chairs. Those 3 chairs are now worth 1 pair of glasses, simply by measure of your word and agreement. So somebody said 1 Bitcoin, and I should have got it back in the day, Dr. Tina, I missed out on this opportunity. Back in the day when Bitcoin was, $15. And you buy $15 worth of Bitcoin, now it is worth that. And then as time has gone on and more people have bought and traded and bought and sold, now we're looking at $100,000. Okay, next slide. All right, so now what are these things called? Meme coins, right? I heard that, our elected president has then launched this thing called the Trump coin. Maybe some of you have heard about, right? That is a meme coin. What in the world is that, right? My favorite one is the dog with hat. That is literally his name, dog with, W-I-F, hat. So a meme coin is built on a viral meme. You remember what I just said about agreement? Remember what I just said about if you say a thing is a thing and you agree with me that is a thing because you've given me money based on what I said this thing is, then it is so. Okay, that's what my friends here did when they created these meme coins. So people created a character, a narrative, and a story, and then a token around a viral meme. That's it. That's all. Who's to say that you can't do the same? Next slide. Now, utility tokens are a little bit different. Utility tokens are a type of crypto that grants access to a special product or service. I want you to think about your Costco card. Right? Now they got the little scan situation when you walk in, right? Used to be just show you the little card, now you got to scan, they got to look and make sure it's you, right? Kind of messed up my son the other day when he went in to buy some chicken. That's another story for another time. But it is that Costco card that grants you access to be able to purchase those goods at a discount, right? So a utility token is the same thing. If you hold a certain amount of the utility token that an organization has, then that gives you access to what that organization does. So if you, for instance, let me think of one. Okay, here's one now. It's called FWB. It means Friends with Benefits. It's not what you think. What you think? But it's a group of people that took this idea and they said, if you hold 75 of our FWB, then you get to come to our little concert that we're making out here in LA in the park. If you hold a certain number of our coin, then you get access to this real estate that we are purchasing together. Okay? Access. Next slide. So crypto is volatile. Now, unfortunately, this is the still slides. You can't see it, but in my live slides, all of those coins are shaking because crypto is shaky, right? It is volatile. And that's why I said at the top of the conversation, you will need to consult your own personal counsel before you invest in crypto. But some are more stable than others, and only invest what you are okay with losing. Now, let me be clear. There are some coins that are called stable coins, right? Now, what I find so funny is when Bitcoin first came around, people were like, that's not going to last. It's going to go away. It didn't. What did the United States government say? They said, oh, wait a minute now. This crypto thing might be here to stay. I think we might need to get in on this. Let's make our own coin, USDC, and let's peg it to the dollar. So one USDC coin is the equivalent to $1, a stable coin that does not fluctuate like a Bitcoin, that does not fluctuate like Ethereum, okay? So there's the ones that are very volatile, then those that are more stable. Okay, next slide. Okay, let's get into some tokenomics. Tokenomics, what does that mean? It's the design and distribution of the project's digital tokens. All right, now, a token's utility. I just mentioned what a utility token is, right? It is the practical use of tokens within a network or organization used to access certain things. Token distribution. How are the tokens allocated to the stakeholders, such as developers or investors or community members? If you all are a part of my DAO, my decentralized autonomous organization, how do you get access to my BME token, which is the name of the token that we're creating, by the way, right? All right, next slide. Token supply, that is the total number of tokens available. Usually, they are in the millions or billions. Why? Because we have to have enough of them so that they can be traded and sold on the platform. I see some heads nodding like that sounds like that makes sense. You can also manage the supply by burning the tokens, by destroying them. You can stake them. You can also participate in yield farming. These are all different types of investment tools that you can use with this funny money, as my daddy calls it. Then there's token value. That's the potential value of a token, which is influenced by those things above. Now, how are we using tokenomics? Next slide. So that's my baby. That's my youngest out of 6. That's my Jules. And he said to me one day, he said, Mom, I love unschooling. I love that I get to learn according to my own pace. I love that I get to, since he was little, I would say to him, Jules, I want you to do whatever lights you up on the inside today. We practice what's called the ikigai. It's a Japanese term, which means your reason for being. That's the image on the bottom. And I said, when you're little, Jules, when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, I want you to do what you love to do, and I want you to do what you enjoy doing. And don't worry, I'll extrapolate, the English and the history and science out of that. But when you get a little older, and we need to talk about your exit strategy, hello, somebody. So you're not sitting on my sofa at 21 eating cereal at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We need to talk about how now you can take those gifts and those things that you love and then turn them into something for someone else, right? He said to me, Mom, I love this thing called unschooling, but when all of my brothers and sisters grow up, I do not want to be home. I love you, Mom, but I don't want to be home sitting there looking at you. So can you create a school for me to go to? Remember what I wanted to do when my husband passed away? He heard that. Fast forward. So this is what we're doing now. Next slide, thank you. So how are we funding Ikigai? Ikigai is a co-learning makerspace that we are building right here in Atlanta on the Beltline. We are funding it through fractional ownership. Number one, FOs, fractional owners, contribute funding to our school, and in return, they receive our digital assets in their crypto wallet, in their digital wallet. They receive our token and our NFT. That gives them external voting rights. Now, they ain't got no say as to what happens inside the school. That's up to the children. But they do have say as to how do they want their investment to return to them, where do we build the next school, right? Number two, their contributions create a funding pool for our Jeannie Idell School. So the school is fully funded. And I'm playing ball to the tune of a couple of $1 million, because I believe that facilitators should be well paid. I believe in creating beautiful spaces for our children. Next slide. So smart contracts, remember what I told you what smart contracts are? If, then, that statements, right, that are programmed. Smart contracts automate the release of funds from the funding pool created by our fractional owners when learners create a Genie That submission. So what is that? I created an app called the Genie app. When my husband was sick and in the hospital, I was away from the kids, right? We were living in Pennsylvania at the time, not like Georgia when y'all got these lovely little homeschool little laws. No, Pennsylvania is a beast when it comes to homeschooling your kids. You know, the evaluator comes to your house. She got to see and touch your babies, right? So I knew that that lady was coming at the end of the year, and I'm up in the hospital trying to keep my husband alive for as long as possible. I'll call home to check on the kids to see what they're doing. They're having a great time. And I said, Ma, you guys got to write down what you're doing because that lady is coming at the end of the year. And I'm not home to capture it, so if you don't write it down, I ain't gonna have nothing to show her. Then the truancy officer gonna be at my door. Ask me how I know. They ain't write down nothing. When I got off the phone, I said, you know what, I wish there was a way they can take their phone, take a picture or video of whatever they're learning, type in a narrative description, right? And then that the AI would translate that you learned how to tie knots today by watching and researching online, translate that into demonstrate mastery of reading comprehension, of science, and of history. And then, oh my gosh, when you turn to the 12th grade and it's time for you to go to college or somewhere, I can click a button and it prints out your transcript. That is what I built. That is what will be available to you by the end of February. But in addition to that, the smart contract inside of the Genie app will then tap that funding pool created by our donors, and guess what will happen? Cha-ching! Money in the funding pool will come over to fund tuition for our learners. Next slide. So the I'm sorry, you can go back one, my bad. Okay, so the smart contracts automate the release of those funds from the funding pool created by our fractional owners, right? Whenever a learner is finished, now get this, the kids get to stay in total freedom and autonomy, right? Just like what Dr. Tina said, I simply created and expanded what my babies were already enjoying around our dining room table, right? So when they hit a Genie That submission, number 4 happens. The smart contract will automate funds from the funding pool to go into the bank account for the school or the co-op or the micro school, covering tuition, paying your facilitators, right? Staying inside of a regenerative funding cycle. Next slide. Now, the token that we created is called the Be Me token. That's a picture of it right there. It's called Be Me because whenever I ask kids, teachers, families, who do you never get to be in school? Be it public school, private school, even your homeschool, the number one answer is, I never get to be free to be me. So I said, if that's what y'all want, that's what we're gonna give you, but now we're gonna tokenize it. So our Be Me token is also traded on decentralized exchanges. So that's where you will go to buy your Bitcoin. That's where you will go to buy your Solana. So Be Me token is over there doing its thing, right? I ain't got nothing to do with that, right? But people who hold our Be Me token have the possibility of receiving rewards for holding it. And additional earnings for our fractional owners can be generated through staking and yield farming. Next slide. Here's another part of my inspiration. In 2021, Constitution DAO raised over $47 million from crypto donations in 4 days. I'm sorry. Maybe my throat was dry. Maybe y'all ain't hear that. In 2021, a group of people received a group text. It all goes down in a group text, don't it? With a bunch of friends. A friend worked at Sotheby's, and she said, ha ha, hee hee, wouldn't it be so funny if one of y'all got me a copy of the Constitution? It's up for auction. Wouldn't it be so funny if you got me that for Christmas? Ha ha, hee hee. Well, the little dude who actually lived here in Atlanta said, ha ha, hee hee, nothing. I think we can do that if we pull together our crypto. And that's what they did. In 4 days, they raised over $47 million. Now, if they can do that for a chance, guess who can do that to help our babies discover who they were created to be? All right, next slide. I'm almost done. I'm going to let y'all get on back to it. But let me leave you with your homework. Do I have any nonprofits in the house? Any 501c3s or such? Any nonprofits? Okay, raise them high because I need to know exactly who I'm talking to. Okay, y'all need to write this down. Endowment. Endowment with a DAO. Endowment is an organization that allows you to receive donations from crypto. Now, I was talking to my sis in the back. She and I agreed. There you go, my sis right there. My sis, what's the name of your organization again? Okay, y'all need to go see her, okay? It is true. People who are crypto holders are 4 times more generous in donations. Now, you might say, look at here, my grandmama don't know nothing about no crypto, child. She ain't getting no digital wallet. That's okay. Grandmama can go to your link. You see the little orange button down there that says donate now? Grandmama can click on that, and now you never know. I told you, I'm about to be a sugar mama right myself, right? I holds me some crypto. I might want to donate some Bitcoin or some Ethereum, and I could do that. If I don't want to do that, then grandmama can put in her bank card and also donate that way, okay? Now, very important. You see what's circled in red? Whew, y'all, please listen to me when I say this. These people are real smart. Way smarter in math than I ever was or will be, and that's all right, because that's their ministry, not mine. They done created this thing called the Universal Impact Pool. Please hear me. Now, you see over here where we got $93.87. That was probably a $100 donation. They're going to take that little money off the top. I ain't mad at it, right? You see there where it says that we are eligible, we received $2,000 in donations, right? And it says from 19 donations. What endowment does with the Universal Impact Pool, they said, because all of these different people, let's imagine if all of you in the room gave me just $5. But because I received $5 donations from about 50 different individual voters, those donations now made me eligible to receive an additional $2,000 from the Universal Impact Pool. It happens once every quarter. First time I got the check, I was a little concerned. I was like, wait a minute, what is this money here now? You know, when? And I had to email them, and they told me that we have this wonderful thing that rewards you for telling people to use our platform. If you have a nonprofit, please reach out to them. It is free to create a profile. And they will give you your money however you want. If you want it to come to you through your bank account, they can do that. I receive my money in crypto through USDC in my crypto wallet. We are a DAO, therefore we have what's called a shared bank account, right? We have a multi-sig wallet. That means that I have to have enough signers on our multi-sig wallet to move money out of that wallet to do whatever we want to do. I have told endowment to send my money to that account, but you can tell it to send your money to wherever you want it to go. Next slide. Another thing you can do, of course, is day trading. Again, I would highly advise you to get some education around how to properly day trade. Or you can simply buy and hold. Now, up there, HODL, in the crypto world, we love little sayings, right? That's, I watch Game of Thrones, so hold it, or that's how I create that. Anyway, that's just me. But you can buy and hold a crypto for the long term, right? I would advise that you do that. Next slide, and I do believe I'm just about done. Resources. My sis in the back told you about Atlanta Blockchain Center. They right here, y'all. They're right here. You walk in the door on a Thursday, you tell them, I want to learn about this funny money situation. And they will open the door with open arms and teach you everything that you need to know. A resource that is right here in Atlanta. Next slide. SheFi, okay? Any women in the house that want to learn about crypto? Now, y'all heard me say the crypto bros are making all this money. I ain't gonna lie to you, it is a very much white male-dominated space. That's why I love when I see people like my sister in the back, right? Because when women get into a space, we do what we do. and we do it effortlessly and easily, right? Now, my friend here who started SheFi, this is an online course. That's her down in the, what's that, right-hand corner right there with the white shirt. Maggie is her name. The next cohort is starting now. If you go online and apply, they have scholarships for you. Now, her courses are extremely thorough. Like, it was a lot to take in. But it's very, very high knowledge for you, right? And after you take her course, you can go and apply for any Web3 job if you want to. Next slide. Now, I also offer what's called Meet Me at the Corner. Meet Me at the Corner is a talk that I give that explains Web3 and unschooling, right? Because in my brain, the minute that I heard about decentralization, I said, that's nothing but decentralized self-directed learning. So why don't the two come together? Because guess what was about fitting to happen? The crypto bros were like, we gotta decentralize everything. Where's education? Where's decentralized ed? And they were about to start something. I said, whoa. What you ain't gonna do is Christopher Columbus, something that's already been here. No, you're not. Not on my watch, right? So I'm constantly bringing together people to see the convergence of these two. Next slide. Now, this is my last slide, and this is one of the most important ones. Y'all saw my son, right? He's the last of my 6. Now, while we love our freedom and unschooling, and I mean we are free indeed, he is also a little bit lonely right now because his brother has to go to work. His other sister is about to head off to college. So I am committed to creating this school for him. It's also for those homeschool kids who reach high school that say, you know, I want to go to school because I need more consistent interaction, right? Now, this will have the numbers. Because he said to me, he said, Ma, I really don't want a micro school. I said, I feel you. You want more than just these other 4 people sitting here to form a relationship with. I got you, okay? So, click on the QR code. It takes you to our website. There is a form there. Fill out that form there, and I will be in touch with you. I can't wait to build Ikigai with you for the purposes of our babies discovering who they were created to be. And I'm so excited to do it in this thing called crypto. Last slide, please. As we say in the crypto world, we all gonna make it, no matter what. I wanna thank you again. My name is Karima Akila, the founder of the Genie Eye DAO that we're creating right here in Atlanta. So make sure that you see me afterwards. I'll be outside somewhere. Thank you again.
Karima, that was amazing. My mind is blown. I felt like I knew a little bit about crypto before, and I know a lot of it more now. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
We do have time for, I think we have time for a few questions. Is that right, Elon? Do we have some time? Let's go for it. If you guys just, someone wants to raise their hand, I can repeat what you ask. Karima and Dr. Tina were so thorough that there are no questions.
All right, who's gonna go buy some crypto?
Yeah. Who's going to set up their wallet?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about the, I don't want to call it co-learning. Do you know where you want it to be?
Yes. Okay. So, Ikigai, the co-learning makerspace village, I want it to be, the dream is on the Beltline, right? Now, between Ponce City Market and Krog Street. The reason for that is Midtown is that, you know how big Atlanta is, Midtown is that space where people can come to. Another important component is we want to provide transportation because a lot of parents were saying to me, I want this, but it's too far. They say 20 minutes. I'm from Philly and then DC. I'm like, really 20 minutes? But okay, no problem. So we'll provide transportation. I also would like it to be a space where micro schools can also have a space inside of it, okay? The idea is, are you familiar with Agile Learning Centers? Anyone familiar with Agile Learning Centers? I see some heads nodding. Okay, yeah? All right, no? All right, it will be a self-directed community. So first of all, a makerspace is a building that has stuff in it for you to make, put your hands to, whatever it is that you love to do. Excuse me, so just looking at my 6 kids, I have a kid who is an artist, so we can have an art studio. I have another kid that does 3D printing. I have another kid that is a farmer. It'd be lovely if we can have access to a farm or some type of agriculture. I have another one that loves animation, sewing, cooking. So whatever it is that your little ones would love to do, it will be in the building for them to do it, right? Now, our school component will follow the Agile model, where the learners get to create interest-based corporations. So whatever it is that they would love to do with other learners, for instance, I have kids who are part of the book club corporation or the cooking corporation. That cooking corporation will set you up. You gotta be careful with that, okay? Because all they wanted to make was cookies. And I was like, can we please get some protein in this situation? But anyway. So whatever it is that they love to do, they get to do it with other people, and they create their own schedule for the day, okay? They create their own governance. We meet once a week, and then the learners have their time where they have their community meeting, and they discuss what's working for them or not, and they can create their own governance. If you're familiar with the Agile Learning Center model, it is very similar to that. Yeah, and so it'll be right there. That is the goal. I've already pictured out the space where I'm looking at, the new building right across from Krog Street Market, like directly across, right next to the James Room. Anybody know about that? All right. It'll be right there. But I'm open to another building. I met with a sis who was here earlier. She walked right up to me and said, I have a space. Yes, right. So we might be there as of like next month. I'm building first with high schoolers because that's what I have. And I found here in Atlanta that the homeschool high school population is not as big as I'm used to in other states. So I'm building first for high school. And as soon as I have about 50 high schoolers, then we're going to open it up to younger children as well. Does that answer your question? All right.
You can go ahead.
So I have a question for both ladies. My first question would be, how do you know if you have an audience or a group? How do you know when you should be like an LLC versus a nonprofit? And then my second question is, are your group of is that something that you have to swap out like a pancake or a get it Coinbase or any cryptocurrency exchange or you know what I'm saying? Like you have to swap it out.
I'll answer your second one, then I'm going to divert the first question, Dr. Tina. So I am waiting to launch the token in February. I'll launch it in February. I actually made one like last year just to try it out, just to see how you do it, and I did not put any liquidity in that token. So I didn't put any money in it just because I just wanted to see, you know, how you do it. And when I tell you it took like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. But when it will be launched, it will be available in all of those decentralized exchanges. It takes a vetting process to be on some of those, right? So, you know, we have to start. It'll probably be on like Coinbase, yes, Pancake Swap. But it will be made available through our website. I'll have a link there that you can click and join. Oh, big time. The DAO will be on Argon. And so in order to become a member of the DAO, you'll go to our platform on Argon. We're building on the base blockchain, I'm believing. And then you'll have to purchase a certain number of our token in order to be a member. So whatever that purchasing process is on Argon, that will be the first place that we'll build there, and then we'll go to Coinbase after we get listed.
Okay, so your question was, how do you know once you build a community or do you already have a nonprofit? Okay, so first of all, nonprofit is nonprofit, for-profit is for-profit, because as you already know with a nonprofit, it's basically something that you're building for the community. And you have to have other people say, the board, on what you can do and what you can't do. If you want to have more say, then you need to have an LLC, because you don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have to go to a board and say, hey, can I do X, Y, Z? Now, all nonprofits, it has to be given back to the community in some way, whereas your LLC can be transferred to your family, if that's where you want to send it at. So both nonprofit as well as for-profit, you need to have in the community. The thing is, if your nonprofit, let me ask you a question, is your nonprofit, do you want to kind of use the same model that you have with your nonprofit to kind of like do a spin-off with for-profit?
I guess my biggest question is, I don't know, because we built that name in the community,
Mm-hmm. Is the mission the same? Okay. Well, you don't want to cause brand confusion. You don't want to cause brand confusion, but you can do it in a way, just like, for example, my brand is CTR Media Network. In order for people, so I won't lose that audience, and also which you can make sure, the reason why we did this for CTR is because when they Google CTR, all of our stuff usually pop up. So we have a similar thing that we did. So we have CTR Media Network, which is an LLC for-profit business. We have CTR Homeschooling, which is the LLC for-profit, which is all dealing about homeschooling. And then we have our 501c3 nonprofit, which is CTR Cares, hence the name. You have to have something similar, but let people know that it's different, but it's up under the same thing of what they have grown to love. So that when they Google you, they can see all of the work that you are doing, but also understand that there are 3 separate entities, and you can apply for funding, sponsorships, investors, and all of this stuff based on each one that you do. So that's how I personally did it, and you do need to build a community around whatever it is. The cool thing, what I did, I kind of started with the homeschooling, and then it evolved over time after I rinse and repeat my process that it spun off to the media side. And so once the media side it grew, and I had a certain profit margin that I knew that when I was going to take it from up under that umbrella, that it could stand on its own 2 feet. And so make sure that you have a solid business plan. If you don't understand how to do that, then you need to get with a financial advisor. Make sure that you have a qualified person that can help you break it up and make sure that everything is legal. Because what you don't want to do is have a 501c and then you turn around to an LLC and you do something that's illegal. So make sure that we had another guy, Michael, that was here last year that give free legal services. So check that out as well. And I hope I answered your question. Okay. But community is the key. Community is the key, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit. Yeah. And that's what helped me be successful, because the people had a need that was attached to the purpose that I'm always doing, and it just grew itself. It grew itself organically over time, and don't despise small beginnings. Just because you don't have 100,000 people yet, you will have them. Build from one and focus on nurturing that group, building trust and credibility. And then people will start sharing and growing and inviting people to your community. And then you can just, test and repeat what they want, okay? And give them what they want. Give them what they want, and then you'll see how you can grow.
Well, thank you, Karima and Dr. Tina, for this wonderful session and all the knowledge that you've shared with all of us. If you guys don't mind giving it up for them. I do want to call out, there is a resource, Yes Every Kid Foundation, for questions like that around legal entities. There's free resources available through them with any questions you guys have around that.